Hello and welcome to this short tutorial where I'm going to show you how you can adjust your exposure while shooting in automatic camera settings on your DJI Avata 2. Now what this allows us to do is auto exposure is basically just going to try and optimize the exposure of your image whenever you're flying. But if you're noticing your image is looking a little bit too bright or a little bit too dark for your liking, you can actually compensate for this. So we can use something called EV, which is exposure value, and we can change this value to a positive number if we want a brighter looking image, or we can change it to a negative number if we want a darker looking image. Come into the goggles with me and let's have a look at what I'm talking about. So right here we can see I'm in auto camera settings. If I flick up from the bottom, we can see I'm in auto, and my EV, my exposure value, is currently at 0. So that's basically what the drone thinks is optimal exposure for this current picture. Now if I click on EV, I have the option to change it. So you can go here, we can see we have minus 0.3, minus 0.7, minus 0.1. If I then click on minus 0.1, you see there how the image got a bit darker. That's that compensation that is going on there. So basically, it's still in automatic camera settings doing all the auto exposure, but it's now setting a lower exposure value. Now if it was looking a bit dark and I wanted a brighter image, I just go the other way, so I can go to 1 here, +1, and that's going to really brighten up the image, basically giving me a slightly overexposed image. So I'm going to go back down to 0, which is what it thinks was about optimal. Now for this sunset scene, I think it would look a little bit nicer if it was a little bit darker. So I'm going to go down here to minus 1.7, and now we get a bit of a silhouette, we get a bit more detail out in the sky, and to my eye, things just look a little bit more cinematic. So if we fly forwards a bit now, we can see here some beautiful footage coming into play from the DJI Avata 2 auto camera settings, and just because we've used that little thing that I've talked about there to balance the exposure to get the exact kind of look that I want. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to pause the drone so it doesn't fly away. So now you know how you can adjust your exposure whilst also staying in that auto camera settings if flying in manual camera settings isn't something that you're yet ready for or that you want to do. If you've gained value from this video, consider becoming a member on Patreon, as it's one of the best ways to support the work that I'm doing here. Now I'm also currently working on a cinematic FPV course, so if that's something that you would be interested in, then you can sign up to the waitlist down below to get notified on all the latest developments and information with this course. Now I've also started a weekly newsletter giving you the latest drone news, hot tips and discounts, and you can find all of that linked in the video description down below. And whilst you're down there, hit that subscribe button for more videos like this. You should go and check out this video next. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.